And yeah! Welcome back, everybody. After Hours with Jon Francois. I'm your host, Benny Goodman. No, Jon Francois. Of course, 90.1 FM, WECS, broadcasting from Eastern Connecticut State University in Willimantic, Connecticut. A quick shouts out to Anthony McLunn. I think we'll be working on a game show together at the TV station here at Eastern. We do a newscast on a regular basis on Thursday nights. But now, because the news can be bland, if you do it for a while, for as long as me and Anthony has, now we're actually going to move on up to a game show that used to be at the TV station a long time ago by the older brother of the guy who's setting up the whole thing. It's called Eastern Expedition. Anthony will be the host, and I think we'll be shooting an episode sometime soon. I tried out for host. Anthony got it very deservedly, so congratulations to him. And I think I might be announcer. That would be great. Now, as far as a game show host goes, I usually have to have that vivacious, energetic personality, which I a lot of the times don't have. I can be very laid back, sarcastic, like, oh, a game show? Yeah, okay, that's the beans on my pasta. Ha! And of course I'll stick my tongue out because I want to lick everybody that watches the game show. Ooh. But yeah, I knew I wasn't the perfect guy. Interestingly enough, I never saw Anthony as the game show host type. I didn't even get a chance to see his audition, which I felt bad for. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Anthony copes with this. So shouts out to him. Congratulations once again. I want to get into very quick about this safe sex written piece that I did on Friday night. I clearly remember this. I just got through hanging out with a good friend of mine, Shelby Akers, and I was thinking of something to write for the newspaper, which I used to be involved in, on safe sex discussions and how I'm extremely tired of them at this point. I'm not going to speak for everybody. Look, other people my age may think, oh, safe sex discussions are mandatory because we are just a bunch of horny plums these days. Plums that just want to be ripe every now and then. Look, my opinion is safe sex discussions at this point when you're, coming into your early 20s, you get the point, all right? You've gotten them in middle school, you've gotten them in high school. What more can you be taught? You got to talk about the condoms and the STDs and what to do if you have an STD, what not to do if you have an STD. It's just mind-boggling after a while. So I decided to write a piece about my sort of comic frustration on safe sex, and I thought it was going to be the type that, maybe people would, share my laugh in it. But unfortunately, I got an email from the opinion editor of the Campus Lantern here saying that, they were very uncomfortable reading it. Now, it's one thing to say, all right, blatantly, first up, I'm uncomfortable reading this piece that you wrote on safe sex. It's another thing to tell me at first, all right, we're definitely putting it in, and then reading it and saying, oh, I'm uncomfortable. Because that just kind of strikes me as kind of unprofessional, if I can be honest, all right? Now, I'm going to stress that I have the highest respect in the world for the editors, the people behind the newspaper, but, writers, anybody with a creative palette, they can be very sensitive. I know I can be very sensitive when it comes to writing material and just figuring out whether it's good enough to be published in a public venue such as the newspaper. I just need to know immediately. I want you to be as honest as possible. Tell me up front, or just, don't tell me at all. Look, it's been very frustrating because on the one hand, I was hoping people would enjoy it in the same way that I've enjoyed it when I wrote the piece on Friday nights, but on the other hand, it's like, oh my God, I'm asking the certain editor, all right, what exactly don't you like about it? And he's not really giving me specifics. He's just kind of giving me general facts like, make it less personal, don't be so inappropriate. And I'm like, all right, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Now, when I submitted this for the TV 22 tomorrow, I'm going to be doing an editorial piece on this. I got specifics like, all right, this is what I think is too explicit. This is what I think needs to be taken out, John. And I appreciated that. And because of that, I fixed it. And now I have something which I think can be more appropriate for the TV airwaves and thus more appropriate for the radio airwaves. So now I'm going to share it with you. And there could be something that it could offend you. So if there is, I want you to like blatantly tell me, because if you don't tell me, then guess what? I'm going to take your Chef Boyardee away from you because I know that's all you have to live on as a college student. Ha! 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 So Anthony, listen up. I'm kidding. You don't have to listen up. You can do homework or whatever you're doing. Probably your editorial for tomorrow as well. Anyways, here's my safe sex piece. Tell me what you think honestly. Safe sex discussions have become synonymous with the school system for God knows how long. I have experienced safe sex discussions since the 6th grade, and I am nothing short of worn out as I live my present days as a college student. Upon observing the recent safe sex event that took place in the Student Center, I asked myself, what can we learn here that we haven't already learned before through health classes or our own personal experiences with significant others? Is safe sex discussion there to repeatedly educate, or is it there to... lost my place. What the hell? I lost my place! Oh my god. Isn't that embarrassing that you just lost your place? Is safe sex discussion there to repeatedly educate, or is it there to entertain with the presumed notion that college students are just starving to talk about sex all the time? Let me give you an example of this questioning. I see a flyer one day promoting the Student Center events, and it displays a picture of a beautiful, smiling woman holding up what appears to be a stuffed animal version of the vagina. Yes, because that's exactly what we need to keep the boogeyman away. I look at this woman and I'm thinking, wow, is she trying to bribe us into the discussion through prostitution? Now, I do not mean that in a degrading way, but when you see a woman of her attraction holding up something so suggestive, what else can you think of? If she was a conservatively dressed woman holding a best-selling book in a sophisticated pose, I would think that I was in for a more mature, possibly newfound discussion. I related my displeasure at the flyer to my previous school's safe sex discussion. Here's a tip to the previous school. If the only thing I can remember from your discussion is a rendition of the masturbation song, then we have a problem. In fact, I cringed to the point where a socially awkward person could have told me to relax. Safe sex discussions and I have come a long way. Back in middle school, I used to think the slightest shoulder-to-shoulder bump with a female was enough to be HIV positive. Cut to my college years, and I now display a more enhanced knowledge on the effectiveness of condoms and how you need much more than shoulders to catch an STD. Now, I don't want you to think I'm implying to be the Bill Gates of safe sex knowledge here, nor am I downing myself to be the porn star of safe sex knowledge. I would just like to assert myself as an in-between who knows enough about the cons of early fatherhood to realize the pros of early independence. Much like making the exit from your mother's roof, I hope it's not too much to ask that I be trusted to make it on my own. So that's my safe sex discussion piece. If you think it's too controversial, if you can understand why the Campus Lantern objected to it, call in. I would love to hear any of your opinions. 860-456-2164. Once again, that's 860-456-2164. And again, not trying to insult anybody, not trying to bully anybody at the Campus Lantern. It's just that, I disagree with the way it was handled. You know what I mean? You tell me it's going to go in, and then it's not going to go in. And this is the second article that I attempted to write for the Lantern, but it's just like, oh, it's ignored. It's out of the way. So I think I'm just going to come to the conclusion that my pieces are probably, it's probably not within their preference of style. They seem to have a more professional journalistic approach to writing articles, which was so unlike last year. I mean, last year there was hardly anybody on the writing staff, so it was just kind of like, all right, anybody who submits something on cheese and bunions will get their piece into the paper because we just need material. This year, there's actually people in. Storms of people wanted to get involved in the Lantern. So now it's just like, all right, we're going to start being professional like a real goddamn newspaper. And this is what I get. The piece that I discussed a while ago about sunglasses, just getting all philosophical and meaningful and over analytical about sunglasses. Yeah, I tried to write that for the Lantern, but they wouldn't accept it, so I just decided to put it on this crappy show right here. So yeah, 860-456-2164. Once again, that's 860-456-2164 to call in about your opinion to my safe sex piece, or you can just post up a comment thing on my Facebook. Facebook.com/JFRA91. Once again, that's Facebook.com/JFRA91. I went on longer than I intended to for this little safe sex banter-rooney thingy mahoony, which sounds like some kind of a pasta thing that I just made up. So yeah, you want to come to my house for a little safe sex-a-rooney pantahoony? Well, bring the sauce and I'll get started. Alright, I went on for 10 minutes according to the recorder, so I'm trying to think if I should just go to another song and come back with the Facebook question of the week. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try that. Let's do the Facebook question of the week when I get back with the following song, or from the following song. This from my playlist. Let's see what we can do. We can do something that'll take a while. How about Train? 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. We'll do that, and we'll be right back with the Facebook question of the week. Alright, don't worry. For those of you that have been responding so dearly to my What's Inside My Hand, I'll get to that as well. I think I'll get to that in the same area that I'll get to the Facebook question after the song. So just stick around. Be patient. Just be patient. Okay? I love you guys. I love you. Too much. 50 Ways to Say Goodbye by Train right here on After Hours. We'll be right back.